Hey everyone, it's Glory from Byte. Welcome back to a Villager Dungeon Nightmare platformer game series in Godot. In this episode, I'm going to be adding the code to the villager and letting it finally escape this nightmare of a dungeon. I'll be using everything we learned in the past videos, so that's the collision with groups, playing animations, if statements with ands, changing scenes, and as well as a variable that keeps track of the villager, whether it has collected the key. Something new I'm going to be introducing is Godot Signals. Signals are basically messages that a node sends to its connected node after an event happens. For example, I'm going to be using the animation finished signal from the door animated sprite and connect it to my villager node. When the open door animation is finished, the door animated sprite will send a signal or message to my villager, and the villager will then know that it's time to change to the win scene. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, I'm back inside Godot after setting up the chest and the door. So I want the villager, when it collides with the chest, to play the chest animation and get the key. Then I want the villager to be able to open the door when it has the key and win the game. Alright, let's head into the villager script and make this all happen. So I need to write the if statement for the chest and the door. It's going to be exactly the same as the apple collision, so I'm just going to copy the apple and paste it for the chest and the door. Rename the groups chest, door. When the villager collides with the chest, I want to play the animation, which is up the tree branch from the villager and into the chest kinematic body 2D node, and on the chest animated sprite, I want to play open. I want to do the same for the door, so up the tree into door. On the door animation, I want to play open. When I collide with the door, I only want to open it if I have the key. So I want to create a variable that keeps track if the villager has the key or not. So var has key, and I'm going to set it to initially false at the beginning of the game because the villager doesn't have the key yet. And when the villager collides with the chest, I want to set has key to true. And now I can ask if the villager has collided with the door and has the key. I then can open the door. I don't need to put in the double equal sign equals true because the computer will read has key as whatever is stored inside of it, which is true. Now to set up the signal to know when the open door animation has finished, so I'm gonna select the door animated sprite, and next to the inspector is node, to the left of groups is signals. An animated sprite has a signal called animation finished for when an animation has played its last frame and is finished. So I'm going to either right click and click on connect, or I can double click the signal that I want. Signals can only connect to nodes that have a script attached to them, which is why the ones that don't are grayed out and I can't select them. I want the signal to connect to the villager, so I have the villager selected already, and I need to go to the bottom and click on connect. It sends me back to the villager script and creates this new function at the bottom. This function is how the villager receives the animation finish signal from the door. So after an animation has finished on the door, and it sends a signal, I want to delete pass because I want it to do something. I want to change the scene to my win scene. Alright, let's see if everything worked. Go over to the chest, open it up, and open the door. Everything worked. I saw the door animation play, and right when it finished, the win screen popped up. Alright, now that we have a winnable game, we just need to add a few more details that make our game more interesting and enjoyable. So make sure to check out the upcoming episodes and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.